Hello everybody, welcome to this channel again. My name is Evel and hello everybody who watch live or replay. Hello. And now today, Evel or me, we're going to learn again about the basic stuff in scripting in Roblox Studio. Yeah, something like that. And today we got some project. The project is that we're talking about yesterday is just like some interaction with the shop and then collecting some coins and you can buy something on the shop. Okay, it's something like that. But before the things will before we go into the Roblox Studio, let's start with we are going to make some, what does he say, a hierarchy of it, or maybe what is it called in I already learned this in Internet of Things, but I forgot the name. It's just like, the start and then you go down, you go to interact, something like that. I forgot, bro. What the fuck is that, man? Hierarchy in Internet of Things. No. Not topology. No, it's just like some logical basic thinking. I forgot the name though. I forgot the name. But hierarchy was like this, but I forgot. What's that name? I forgot. I already learned this in IoT where I forgot the name, but I forgot the name. Wait a minute, okay, people. I need to take my coffee first because this is going to be wild. Okay, welcome everybody, watch live or replay. I said that before, but okay, let me see my YouTube channel first if this all working together or not. And wait, okay. Wait, okay. Okay, welcome everybody. It's working. Let's continue with. I'm not changing my thumbnail first. Wait, I'm changing my thumbnail first. This, I guess. Okay, let's continue, people. We make the hierarchy. What is it to say? I forgot. What is that name? The name of it. Make a logic. Set hierarchy. What's the name of it? Yes. No. Flowchart. Yeah, we make a flowchart. Yeah, flowchart. That's live already. Flowchart. Yeah, we make a flowchart. Flowchart. Yes, I remember it. No, I just asked Google what's the name of it. But I'm gonna change my set first. Well. Let me just change edit post. We change it to day 6. Learning the basics. Yeah, I already made the flowchart in here. In the paper, but I want to implement it in the Figma. So let's just open Figma right now and we start the things. Flowchart. Okay, you don't have any flowchart, so we gotta make it all by myself, I guess. how to make a big project. New asset. No, I don't want any template. Okay, something like this. Okay, let's just start to make something in here. How to make the hierarchy. The hierarchy is simple, I guess, and you guys might be understood what the things that I want to make. So yeah, portrait, Instagram. No, it's just like custom size. Okay, so how can I put the text in here? I want to make text in here and say that this is a start point. This is not like a real flow chart, like still bad though. Okay, so I'm gonna do this and do that, and after start we go through where insert, no, square. Oh my god, I'm so confused to using all this shape. Line, how to make a line? I want to put some lines in here. Cribbledale doodles. Yeah. Auto rated. Yeah. How to make a line? I want to make some line in here. Line in Figma. Using a press L, okay. L, go here. Yep. And then we go L again. From here to, oh yeah. We go from here to interact. We call this interact section. I mean, like, I gotta move into here, I guess. Yeah. In the start, we go to interact. After interact, there is two options in here. The top option, it should be now again, go here. Okay, and then go okay. Oh my god. We got two lines in here. L again, go from here to here. Yeah, something like that. Then I wanna copy this. How? So with Ctrl V, rotate that to here and put it in here. And yeah, this is the interact section. After interact, there is two options here that you can close or close. With example, you gotta close or purchase. Okay, it's simple stuff, but this is the hierarchy of it. Wait, let me change it to here first, so you guys could see what's going on. Okay, after the purchase, it could be done or failed. It could be what is purchase? There is two line again. Okay. Control V. We go in here and in here too. Control V. Success. Done. It could be done. No. Done. Or fail. Yeah, it's simple stuff, you know. So if you just close this, wait, let's make it true. You know what? Just make a line again. I'm just gonna make a line. I'm just gonna make a line again in here. And going to there. Okay, so if you close it, you could back again to the start, and if you make it like you also going to make the restart too. Yeah, it's bad, right? But you know what? I don't give a fuck. I don't even care what this is about. Just care that these things will be the best mechanic that I ever made in my life. Okay, something right here. Okay, something that. Okay. For the start, it's from here. You interact. If you interact the people or the NPC or the shop, I mean, you could close the shop or purchase something. If you purchase something, you got done or failed. Okay. Let's start these things. Okay, people. This is only for the shop. The other things that I want to make is the coin collector stuff. And yeah, I think that would be cool to make, because if you want to get coins in here, you gotta make the coins appears first. Yes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's just start this with some layout. The layout is simple. Like example. Let me just make a part in here. We're gonna make it like a coin zone stuff, and maybe I just use a 3D asset in here. I can shop. Is there any script in here? No, right? Okay, this is the shop that I want to put it. Okay, this is the rotate stuff, and yeah, this is the shop. Look at that new pimpak, that beautiful, that beautiful NPT. I love her. I love it. So this is the shop. You could see the ladder union, part. You can't move anything in here. No one. But yeah, this is the shop. So when you want to buy something in here, no, Oh my. Okay, we gotta make it clear that this shop will be moved to the other side. Okay, I mean like from here, I guess. And we rotate it like ting ting. Okay, that's good. Yeah. This is the coin collector. Yeah. Oh my god, it's so bad. Wait, okay, let me change the graphic quality. Okay, this is the shop. Yeah. Hello, buddy. Hello, my name is FL. I want to buy something. Can? Okay. Just start with some basic first. The basic ones, it's a leader stat. Hmm. Oh no! I just broke the code. No, 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 no! What the fuck? This big ass fucking mall, bruh. What the fuck? Holy sh! Yeah, I gotta delete this, please. Okay, it's too much for me. Let's just start with some service. Yeah, we got a script in here. We gotta tell you. Okay, we make a leader set first in here, where you go glum.players players set. Players set connect plus the function in here. We go to player and we go like local leader stats equals to instance dot new equals to folders, and then we gotta go with leader stats dot name equals to okay leader stat leader stats dot parents equals to player. We just try this and see what happened. The players tk1 leader start. Okay, good. And then we make a coin statement here, local coins is equal to game dot player dot leader stocks. Oh no, I gotta make some instant dot new first. Dot new called coins in value, and then after that we continue with the coins dot name equals to coins itself, and then we make a coins dot parent equals to leader stats. To be good. Nice. Okay, we make a statement in here. I think it's good, and then we continue with the other stuff in here. coin collector. So the first one, we need some space, one space in here, like the big space in here, to be the coin collector, please. Okay, we gotta continue. We gotta make it to the 3D, and then we go from coins, 3D asset coins. Where's the free one? I need the free one, please. Okay, this one. This one should be good. It's big as fuck. Okay. From here. From here, okay. Okay, this will be hard. These things will be hard. But you know what? Let's just do it until we make it. I don't give a I don't really care if these things will be worth or not. Okay. Okay, people. Just trust to me. This will be the best thing ever. Best thing ever. Okay, wait. Let me just reset my brain to remember how to make a coin collector. Okay, I got it. Man, let me just make some folder again in here in workspace. Oh no, folder. We make it we got in here, and yeah, this is called coin collector. Coin collect. Let's make the hierarchy first. The first one you're gonna make is the enter the coin first. Okay. Coins equals to new dot workspace dot coin collect get children, and then we go from 4 for this, and then gold in e pairs. What's the coins? Do. Okay. And then inside of it, local collect equals to false first in here, and then we just gotta do check the coins, of course, people. Gold dot touch it. It's the comic function. Do some of this. Humanoid equals to the parents find first child or humanoid, and then if humanoid, then we make the simple statement first in here, and then we go gold dot transparency transparency, where is it? Where? Transparency. Huh? Coins. No. Equals to 1, and then Hmm. We make a player statement here, right? Yeah. Let me just try this first before we continue, okay? Okay, it's working. Completely working, people. Nanda. Okay, let's continue. Okay. Local player okay. Cam dot players get player from character hit dot parents be inside, I guess. Okay, let's just continue this. Local, this is using local too. And then player dot value plus one. Should be like this, right? Come on, fight, come on. Value. Huh? Value? Oh! Okay, I think it's working. If player, okay, we're gonna make the test statement in here. Player and human width and collect equals to false, then run this statement, and then collect equals to true. Okay, let's see this again. It should be working. Okay, it's working. Yes. And then after this we make a random statement like collect function local function random coins. Okay. Mm, a lot. Minute, okay. What coins? It's different stuff because it's different stuff. Oh. Bling. Fuck. Oh no, no, no. It's the coins. Bling. Okay. Random function in here. Random coins. What? Wait, I gotta name this first. Coin zone. Okay. And then we do some math random, right? Wait, I'm kind of confused though. Okay. Okay. Shit. You cannot just insert the coins inside the coins. Like this is dark. Keyframe or vector? How to make the logic though? Fuck. Huh. Shit. I'm confused, bro. Okay, I'm stuck in here. Okay, the map random is kind of messed up, but yeah, I'll do it later. It is okay. We just gotta do else first in here. What's the balls? Oh yeah. Shit. Well. Ah. 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 Terus to make a random number of x and z inside the coin zone. How? We're not getting into the remote event first because this thing is just kind of confusing for me. Where you make a function that works inside. And then what else you need? Make a random number. So you could the output was here. It should be x, y, z, right? And x it should be in the random number. Let me make the topology again. So go vector. This contain x inside the zone, random at the zone, stay random, how to make random. If you want to make random, you have to make dot random, right? Unique x value, and then inside the zone, but you need inside the coin zone. So we need some gold Sitian of x equals to net random of coin zone dot size dot x equals to negative coin zone. It will be like that, right? Let me call first. We do some random function again in here. Huh? Position. Nail. You know what? I'm frustrated. Somebody say very good. Yes. Thank you. Oh my God, how? What if I don't use this? And use local. What the fuck, bruh? Wait a minute, okay, people. I think I found some problem that I could not finish it all by myself. Let's see. It's literally fucked, bruh. I'm so fucked up in here. You know, delete this verse. So one. One. One appears again, please. No. Let's see what happened in here. If you touch it, the transparency it's gone. The leader value up collects equal to true because the first one was equal to false, right? Yes. And then talk that wait one. If you done this, the code content again equals to true, the code equals to false. Let me see what happened if I print. It's debugging, chat. Huh? Damn. I think I don't know the else statement here. Let's see. One appears once appears. Okay, it's working. Okay, and now this stage, the local function is not working, chat. I think the problem was in here and in here, but I don't know what. Let me check the last video, I guess. Limit. I forgot how to make it, bruh. Dot spawn. No, not this. Blah 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 blah. Oh, this one. Okay, I see the problem. God damn it, bro. Bro. So tired of this. Yep, and the last one is called it's equal to Spears. Put it in here again. Here's Spears. What? You mean by this, bruh? Ah! Bro. X. Y. Z. Please. Oh, fuck. Is because of this? Bro, I think I gotta learn this function first. What it does do. Wait, okay. Please. Workings. Yes. Huh? It's not inside the zone though. Oh my god. I mean, like the function is working though, but the function is working. Okay, I don't understand this one though. Position. What happened? Ah, I'm so confused, bro. Oh, I think it's because of this. So be put outside. Okay, it's working though. Shit, I gotta learn this function, bro. I don't understood. Ah. random exposition where to the uh-huh. So this is a mistake. Uh-huh. I don't understood, bruh. Goal position. It's working, but I don't understood. Oh. Just the collection. Probably I'll choose a random place. The computer thinks the same way. This computer know the box. Favorite part has coin zone. Position. Huh. Width, height, and length. X can be anywhere between 80 to... Oh, this is 2. It's just like 2. Oh, okay. This is between this to this. You can make a random math in here. And then, wait. After that, you make a random position again in Z, divided by the size. Hmm. Hmm. Hi. What? Left, right? And 5, 1, 2. And we pick between that, right? We cannot change the high though. Hmm. Okay. Just generating a random number. So the point is of the math random in here was to make a number that random between this to this and this to this. Oh my god. The size. Wait. I'm just experimenting a little bit in here. Like, if I change the size in here, what happened? 50. Oh. Okay, so that's the size. What's the difference? Oh, the size is. Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, okay. Understood, understood. Let's just make this as 50, 50. This is 50. Divided by 2. 27.5, you get the edges. And then the position of the x. The position right now is in position 0, 0, 0. No, it's 30, 35. Minus 24. What we got? Okay, this is the position, yeah. This is the 0, 0, 0, right? Oh no. Okay. The coordinate of this. Nothing more. Okay. Random left edges, right edges. Okay. So the meaning of this code is only like, give me the call from the left edges to the right edges, and a random number between left edges to the right edges, and then the z it's doing the same thing too. Like, wait, if I changed wait, this is a position of this, right? If I change this to here, the only things that change is only the things. Let me change this over here. Make it 10. Okay. But why you gotta need the half of it? Why? I still don't understand. So yeah, this is the 0, 0 point imagine, and this is the region info of it. So I still don't understood. Okay, I still don't understood where is the point of the exposition in here. Like, it should be point at the center of the parts, or it's on the edges of the parts. Position. 50 minus 10 equals to 40, right? Yes, I know, but I cannot visualize it. Like, okay, let's just imagine just put a part in here, and we put it right in here. Okay, I want to be the position of the X in here. It should be in the same place with here. So the only ways to change the X in here, okay, let me just target this coin zone. The coin zone said the position was 10, so I change it to 10, I guess, and it should be same as, let me just change the scale of it. One block, just a single block in here. We gotta change it to the red and change the position to the position. Where's the position in here? Okay, we change the position of this to 10, and we're gonna see the middle of it, right? The middle of it. Okay. Oh, so the to the visualize is we got the huh? The factor 3 was XYZ, right? Okay, I think the problem that I don't understand is in here. The position of it. This is a position from this, right? Should be in the random position. So if this stands, right? This is stands. This is equals to, what is this, the size? The size. The size is, the x1 is 55, right? 55 is, half of it is 27. Yeah, the half of it is 27. Okay, just imagine like this. Okay, we know the length of this is 55. Okay, and the position from here to here, here to here, the middle of it is 10. So if we want the left edges, right, we want the left edges, or the point where the x is supposed to be negative in here, min x. Okay, this is a 0 0, right? This x position in here should be x. This is should be 0. And this is 55. This is 27.5. 27.5. So this is minus this to get the negative value, right? It should be the left edges. how we could got these things too. And position from here to here. The size was a different perspective, I think. It's because it's the size. The size. Position minus size equals to left edges. How could that be possible? How? Eh. Yeah. Minus size is equal to this. If on the right size, it should this is using a positive. Then we got these edges. Huh. I'm talking nonsense, huh? Because at the end we are talking about the position, right? So I'm trying to understand the logic, chat. It's kinda hard. No. Go back, okay? Please go back. Okay. I just gotta take a screenshot in here of it. Which is 10, right? I don't want to talk to you first. This is 10. Okay. Okay. Wait a minute, okay? Wait a minute. Let me just import something real quick. Wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute, okay? Wait a minute. Let me just import something real quick. In here. Screenshot. Okay, we see this one. I'm big this one. Make it like here and here, okay. Okay. Okay, so this is the things we know that this stuff is 55, and we take a half of it equals to 27.5, and then we gotta search this. We gotta search this red dot right here, the negative value, and we know that this value to here is equal to 10. And the points that he made to get this position, I mean, like, so the position is equals to from here to there, right? Right. We need the position of x. It means all you gotta do is do this. How we gotta get this value? X. This is equal to x. Okay. This is 10. Okay. This is 10. This is 27.5. This is 55. Okay. All we know that we need to know the value of this. To know that or maybe this is the right value, right? This is the right value, so this is cost. Higher. No, no, no. Here to here is 0. Is 10. We got 55 and we just need a half of it. What does x mean in here? X is equals to also we need the value of here to here, which is we got 10. Okay, we got 10 in here. Okay, wait. 10 x equals to 10. Oh, oh, so actually from the middle is this to this is same. So this is 27.5, right? Because in here to here is 10, and then we just add it up, so we got the x value in here, which is 10 plus 27.5. And because we're talking about a negative and positive, which is the x value, it's got the negative and positive, or I said that is negative 27.5. This is positive 27.5. Okay. I'm understanding the logic in here. This is positive way. We got here, and then I'm kind of confused though, like because it's because we are thinking in 2D perspective. No, I mean like, can I explain this? How? Is equals to 10 plus minus 27.5, right? No, I mean like 27.5. Oh, it doesn't matter though, like 27.5. I mean like the negative value was in the 10. Okay, I understood. But why we need negative and positive in here? How I can pursue? I only know how to know the edges. But I don't understood how we need negative and positive value in here. Because it's just like it's like a coordinate, right? This one, it's because the coordinate. Right. Damn, this is so fun though. It's so fun to learn. I like it. Right. It's because it's using a coordinate in here, which is got a negative and positive value, which is this is the 0 part, right? Wait. This is a 0, and then if you move to the right, which is 10 plus 27, it could be half this, or if you have a negative value. Oh, I understood, bro. Let's go. Understood. Oh my god, I love math, bro. I love math. Oh. Imagine it's just like a negative value, but this is a 0. This is 0. Or maybe like this, or maybe like this. This is a 0. This is a 0. Okay. This is a 0, right? This is a 0 perspective in here. And then the spawn location, it should be in the okay, the y is doesn't matter, but Look at this, look at this. This is a 0, right? This is a 0. 0 value in here, which is, if we want to know that part, we have to, oh wait, let me just make it this. So no anchor, yes, but I need it to be transparent. Wait a minute. Okay, people, man, this basic math, I'm really wait, okay, wait, people. Anchored, no, where's the transparency in here? Orientation, pivot, size. Wait, what about this? Wait. Oh, it is on the appearance, transparency equals to 1. Okay, we see something like this, right? This is a 0. This is a 0. We're looking at the 0 part, and the things that we know, that we apply this as a center of it, as a center. Wait, I like this one. I like this one. This is so fun. This is so fun. Open new one. No, I mean like new. Yes. Don't save. Okay. We continue again with another import to the canvas. Okay. Imagine just this is the 0, right? This is 0. Where is the origin of it? And we need to know that this is the side of it. This is the all sudden the part that we are looking for of the edges, which is we have to know the edges of this one, right? If we are imaging like this, just same like this, we need to know what edges in here, edges in here and in here, okay, and in here. But we only know that the what we gotta need, I mean like this is a 0, yeah. Imagine this is a 10, this is 10, the position of the origin is 10. This is the position. Okay, we need to know the part of this. We know that this is the this is a 50, right? 55. I mean like the full of it, I mean the full of it all. This is, imagine this is a value, this is B value. The only thing we know, A plus B is equal to 55, right? I guess. A to B, I mean like A plus B or A to B? If you're talking about coordinates, it should be A to B. No. If you using A7 plus minus, it should be like this. Plus minus A to B plus minus B equals to 55. Because we are talking about a positive value in here, we should go for 55, not negative 1. I don't know. And then we know that this is a value of the origins, I mean like, yeah. and we need to know the value from here. Okay, this is 55, but the center of it is not in here. It's not in the middle of here. It could be in here or here. Yeah, imagine if that was in here. Yeah, the origin of it in here. Oh, no. Wait, okay, wait. Okay. The origin of this value is 10 long from here. Should be like this. Yeah, the things that we now want to know is how we put the gold, in this value. We know the side of it is 10, and then the whole of it is 27. This to here is 27. 7.5. Because how we know that is because we are using a 55 divided by 2, which is 27.5, and this is the half of it. And we know we need an origin from here to the specific value of the origin, the value of origin to the center. It's 10, right? It's 10. Imagine, and we need the value of this one. Yeah, x. The things that we know, it's only this is 27.5, and yeah, this should be also be 20. Well, this should be also like 27. In this is 10, this is 10, and this is the 27.5. And because we are talking about a coordinate in here, we assume that this negative, this is a positive way, right? Because the things that already convert to the coordinates, it's only the 10, because we're talking about the 10 in here goes to here, which is the positive or negative value is supposed to be a position of the origins to the position of the coin zone itself. Origin to the position of origin, the position of something like that. Yeah, so this is 10. Okay, this is 25, 27.5. The rest of it will be 55, right? 55, and the middle of it is not right here. It should. Okay. Relax. It should be right here, I guess, because this is 27, right? It should be more to the left. Yeah, something like that. It's same as a z value. Same as z value in here. We need to know the position of the z first from the origins, and then we need the z value of these origins to the middle of it in the z value, of course, and then we divide it by 2. Yeah, something like that. Okay, I understood. Damn, this is so hard though. Yeah, this is kind of hard to understood, but I made it. I like it so much. Okay, let's continue, people. To the next one, I guess. because we already done the coin collector in here and I understood the logic in here, and it will be make we're gonna take this one like, yeah, and take this up again, whoop, take this one again, whoop, yeah, it's increased the value of it. Okay, that's all. Congratulations for the coin collector, people. Coin collector system. Yes, yes, yes. Gotta make it a lot, bruh. You gotta make it a lot. Lot. Yes. Accept that and see what happened. Okay, we're back to logic again. I think I messed up these things. What about we put it in here? Some coins. Okay. Something happened in here, but I don't know what. Coins. It only works if you put it inside of this value. Fuck. Oh, I'm sorry. It should be gold. This should be size. Gold size. Done! Okay. Okay. We gotta do this outside the function, I guess. Yep. Okay, we made it. Chat. Coin character stuff. Disappears. Two fours. And then what? Okay. I mean, like, it's good. It's good. It's completely good, people. Look at that. We made it. We made it. We made it, people. We made it. I gotta delete this comment first because it's too annoying. Okay. Maybe we should just use 3 because yeah, 3 is a good number. We don't need this one. Just print another number again. And yeah, look at it. Okay. Bam. Oh shit. Okay, I think I just need it in the air. Here, I guess. Then we make it again. Run it again. And if we put it through, I think it should be cool. Then 1, 2, 3 appears. Okay, 1, 2, 3 appears. Am I lagging, chat? I think I'm lagging. Okay. I need. I think it should be like this though. I don't know. Wait, I can. So if the player touch it, wait, I cannot. Other coins. This good. Until that's done. What's the point with this? Understood though. We're gonna put it inside of here. But why? Okay, let's see. It's working. I mean, like, why I should put it inside the papers? Like it's outside the loop. The collect equals to true, no coins to checks. If the collect is on it, the collect is false. Yes. Oh, see false until can you collect? Yes. Why? Let's do like you're supposed to have coins 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. The loops run like this. First, gold equals to coins. Local collects equals to false. Second one, blah 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 blah. The third one, blah 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 blah. It's such a collect variable. Think outside the house, outside the loop. 3 people, 1 key. 1 key. If the coins take the nobody else would take it. Hmm. Is there any plugins that could make me know uh, what things going on in my code, like visualize the code running line by line. Roblox debugger.
I often find myself with a predicament. I write some code. It's an oddly humbling experience. After being humiliated by the computer about how bad I am at writing code, I then have to figure out what I'm actually doing wrong. Thankfully, Roblox Studio's built-in debugger comes to save the day. Hey there, this is Steven. I pulled our code mid-execution, allowing us to inspect what's going on at a given point in our code. We can then step through our code line by line and watch what happens. Programmers will often reach for the print to figure out issues. This is not a bad thing and is often a great first step. If print statements help us answer what's happened, then the debugger helps us answer when, where, and why it happened. In other words, if print statements show us the symptoms of something going wrong, the debugger helps give us a proper diagnosis. In other words, if you find yourself thinking, that's odd, or that wasn't supposed to happen, then reaching for the debugger might be a good move. Sure, there are times when you can glance at your code and figure it out, or a print statement might even be a call stack window and a breakpoint window. And we will see how to use each of these as we go through those are. Hover over the gutter in the editor. Running this line of code. If we hover over our variables, we can see their values. Notice though, this doesn't work on variables later in our code, as that code hasn't yet executed. At this point, we can step our code forward in a variety of ways. We can step over, step into, step out, or continue. We'll show these one by one through the next examples. As a quick synopsis, stepping over simply runs the current line and stops before the next. Stepping into will step the debugger into whatever function call is on the current line. If there's nothing to step into, this acts identical to stepping over. Stepping out will continue your code until the end of the current function and pause after where it was called. And finally, continuing will simply continue your code until the next breakpoint. Let's use the step over button to advance forward. It will run our current line of code and break on the next line. Now we can hover over our line and see the variable was set. This is a good time to also take a look at the watch window. Note that we can see all the variables here. We can disable a breakpoint by clicking on the red circle again. A solid circle is enabled and an outlined circle is disabled. To remove the breakpoint, right-click it and click on Delete Breakpoint. We can also make conditional breakpoints. The following code is similar to the last, but put inside of a for loop. We can see there's currently a breakpoint. If we try to run this, it will break every iteration of the loop. What if we only want it to break under certain conditions? Well, let's right-click on the breakpoint and add a condition. Let's say we only want to break here if our loop iterator value is greater than 5. Now when we run the code, notice it breaks only when our condition is met. Breakpoints can also be used to log out information. When we right-click our breakpoint to add a conditional, notice that we can also add a log message. The variables can be included here too. You can pair a conditional with a log message, effectively adding conditional logging without the need for a print statement. Okay, let's look at stepping into our code. In this example, notice we've added a function call in our loop. If we use the step over button as before, notice how it just skips over the function call. The function is still called, but we don't get to see what happens. Using the step into button, we can step into the function call and see it run. Let's try it. Once we get to the line with our function, let's click step into. Notice how we jump into the function. Now we can continue stepping through the function too. Let's click step over to go line by line through this function. Once we get to the end, clicking step over will jump us back to where the function was first called within the loop. In the same example, let's see how stepping out works. Let's run our code and again step into the function call. Now, at any given point, we can click step out to jump back to where we originally came from, in this case, the for loop. This doesn't skip over the remainder of the function, rather it runs the rest of the function and pops us back up to the original call site. In other words, it's like saying, hey, I'm done looking at this function, let's continue on until we're back to where this function was called. In the watch window, there's another tab called My Watches. Let's click on this tab. Here, we can add our own expressions to watch. You can think of an expression as a line of output. So you could include a variable as an expression or even a combination of variables added together. The watch expression will populate its value. First of functions are what we call the call stack. I'm going to generalize some terms here for simplicity. You can think of the call stack if, to take a look at call or call. If we set a breakpoint in, we can inspect that level. This is pulled on from our previous video as the paintball, but it seems to not be doing that. Well, let's take a look at the paintball module. If we look at our implementation of onHit, we'll see that we are setting the parts color as expected. Well, let's try adding a print statement and see what we get. Those colors seem all over the place. Okay, let's set a breakpoint in our onHit method and run the code. If we take a look at the paintball object, we'll see that the color and hit color no longer match up. Let's add a watch expression on self.hitColor and press the resume button a few times. We'll notice that the value keeps on changing but never matches self.color. Okay, let's try running this again, but we'll step through the function. When we step into the projectile.onHit function, we'll be met with no problem. The base class is overriding our hit color variable. Let's get rid of that line and try again. Great, now it works again. While that example is a bit contrived.
Okay. So it's just inside this, right? Go to the line. Put. Breakpoints. Format. This is new for me though. What is it? Call stack. We run the code. Then we run the code. Stack. What is this? How we delete this? Step into something like that. Script activity. Okay. If we take the character, nothing's happened. Watch. Language. Cross tick. Command, go to the line. Analyze. Script activity. No. Analyze. My watches. Breakpoints. Variable. What, bruh? Don't understand a single line of it, bruh. Wait, chat. Go to line. Number of line. Fine, format. Documents. Call stack watch. Script activity. Confused, bruh. What? I'm so confused.
We can still see how the debugger can help us track it through our code line by line and watch what happens. Programmers will often, if print statements help us answer what's happened, then the debugger helps us answer when, where, and why it happened. In other words, if print statements show us the symptoms of something going wrong, the debugger helps give us a proper diagnosis. For complex issues in our code, using a more powerful tool like the debugger is essential. So, when should we use it? Well, anytime you run into an issue where your code doesn't match your expectations, that's a great time to reach for the debugger. In other words, if you find yourself thinking, that's odd, or that wasn't supposed to happen, then reaching for the debugger might be a good move. Sure, there are times when you can glance at your code and figure it out, or a print statement might even be sufficient to help find the issue, but often the more powerful debugger is the better tool for the job. This is especially true in deep call stacks, that is, where our code has jumped through multiple functions and issues happening somewhere in that string of function calls. We are going to look at a series of examples to help make this click. Each example will build upon the previous one. Before we begin, let's ensure we have the proper to use breakpoints. If we click, it'll place that red circle on that line. This is what we call a breakpoint. When running our code, it will stop right before running this line of code. Remember that, it's before the line runs, not after. This trips up a lot of people at first. Let's run the code and see what happens. The debugger has paused our code at a breakpoint. If we hover over our variables, we can see their values. Notice though, this doesn't work on variables later in our code, as that code hasn't yet executed. At this point, we can step our code forward in a variety of ways. We can step over, step into, step out, or continue. We'll show these one by one through the next examples. As a quick synopsis, stepping over simply runs the current line and stops before it.
Okay. Let me see. Ah! Oh yeah. Okay. At least it's done. Okay, stop debugging, please. Delete. Let's just continue. Okay. Something like that. Okay. Subsystem remote event. Let's continue. Let's watch the remote event again because I really forgot what the things that I should make. But yeah, let's continue to this one, baby. No, let's export this and put it in my beautiful place. Here, import the canvas, screenshot. Yes. I need a new one though. No, don't save. Okay, so the things is, first one is UI not showing up, not up. This is up, which is there is an interaction here. This is the UI that comes with the value. This is a UI. If you click this button, don't unveil. But yeah, so I want to know how you killed how. This is to here is how, and the confusing stuff is list, then the under of it is done. So I want to make how it's doesn't appear to appear, and then yeah, and then it changed in here to here, here to here. It's also how. If I know how to do this, I could be done this too. This is same as how. So the pure one is the UI is not showing up, but when you click it, you show up the interact, and then after interact it, you open up after interact. Oh, the interact stuff, I think you can use a touch. I think this is using a touch statement. In here, using a touch because your character is touching. Oh, you touch it with the left mouse, right? Left mouse. The shop. Yeah, it's to interact. And then if you interact this to here, this is how to so if we touch, so we need a function touch, or maybe I don't know how to showing up a left mouse button. If you click it, you do something. I gotta test it. And then if you touch it, you have a close and purchase. Close, you want to, and then you open up a new UI in here. Completely new UI. This is a GUI 1. This is a GUI 2. And then you touch it. Inside the touch event, there is a function of GUI. Inside of this, there is a GUI. Of course, there's the GUI in here. And yeah, touch it, interact with left mouse. It should be good, I guess. If we interact with the guy, if we touch the guy using, I don't know, should be an interact stuff though. I want to make an interact with my left mouse, and then it show up a GUI, and then UI you can insert the UI if you I think it's touch inside the UI again. I think it's something like that. This is a UI 1. This is a UI 2. I guess. And there is a close and purchase. When you press close, it's end. Okay, but so we need a okay, I understand the logic a little bit, I guess. The UI in here, it should be in touch with click equals to false first, and then if we choose a close, the click is equals to false. But if you choose a purchase, click equals to true. And if click equals to true, it will come up with another UI. So touch it inside the UI, inside the I gotta watch a remote event again. Friends.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. Welcome to the first episode of my Roblox adventure.
Work today is broken. We're all working in too many disconnected apps, and it's killing team productivity.
Hey, thanks for stopping by. We're going to be creating a bunch of stuff that correlates to server and client communication so that we can create systems that allows us to have more security with our Roblox games and also more robust systems with the things that we decide to create inside of our Roblox games. And in this episode, I'm going to be introducing 2 of them, which are called remote events and remote functions. And with them, we're able to create things like this. So I made a text label that says, would you like to buy this button? And I have a button down here that we can press called buy button, and this costs 50 coins. And up here, you can see in my leader stats, we have 50 coins to be able to buy this. So let's see what happens when I actually press it. So essentially, when I pressed this button, it communicated to the server to check whether I had 50 coins or not. And if it did, then it would subtract 50 coins from my leader stats, and it would tell us the message that the purchase has been successful by updating this text label. If we press it again, now that we can't afford it, it will check again, but this time we can't afford it. So the server will tell the client that the purchase has failed. I want you to understand what goes on behind the scenes when we're communicating with the server and client, and why this matters a lot when we're dealing with security and exploitation and all those other sorts of things. But before we start implementing, let me show you something else. All right, let's think about this for a minute. So if you saw one of my previous episodes, you might find this diagram to be familiar. And yes, this is the server and client model found on the Roblox Developer Hub. That's because in this episode, I feel like this really ties back into what we're going to be doing inside of this episode. So if you remember, the game consists of two sides. You have the server and the client. The server up here is basically the perspective of the game that has access to everything inside of the server and also in the client. But if you're one of these clients attached to the server, also known as the players, so we have player 1 down here, and we have player 2, and then player 3, all within their own perspectives of the game, do not have access to whatever information is in the server. The server is the powerhouse of all its valuable information that the client cannot simply access just freely. That's why there has to be communication between the server and the client. Whether that would be from this player, so let's call this player 1. If they wanted to send information to the server, then we will use a remote event to be able to tell the server we wanted to do something, and it'll do it for us. Or if we have information to a specific player from the server, we will go from the server and we will send information to a specific player, like let's say player 2, to tell them that they got a notification or something. Or if we're playing a round-based game, then we will have the server replicate to all the players inside of the game that if this is a round-based game, that the game is over, and it's going to reset everything to wait for the next game to happen. So there's so many use cases where we would have to communicate with the client and the server to get stuff done, to make our systems robust, to make it very secure from hackers. Because that's one of the main important things we need to know about here, is that even if it's not for security, there's a lot of things you can't do unless you know how to communicate with the server and client. So that's why it's very important to understand how this stuff works, when to use it, and why you should use them.
Yes.
And I hope this gave you a little more insight as to what we're going to be doing in this episode. Now that we understand it, let's make some stuff that effectively communicates between the server and client. So first thing we will do is create a leader stats script to give ourselves some coins.
Yeah, leader stat.
In value with create a button here that says give currency, and when the player presses that button, it's going to send a message to the server to give our player currency. And I mentioned that this is going to be a remote event, so you might ask, where do we create this remote event? For the most part, I would say create it inside of replicated storage. I'd say this is the best place to access information that we want to know about from the server and also the client. Because as you know, there are specific folders inside of the game that can only be accessed by either the server or the client. For instance, server script service and server storage, these can only be accessed on the server. But things like starter GUI, starter pack, starter player, these things can be accessed on the client. But we want a folder that can be accessed from both the server and the client, which is usually replicated storage and replicated first. But we're going to put it inside of replicated storage. So we're going to hit the plus sign, and let's insert a remote event. This is what it should look like. And let's rename this remote event to give currency. So this is what we're going to use to tell the server that we want to give the player currency whenever we press a button. Now let's actually create the button. So let's go to Start GUI, hit the plus sign. We're going to create a screen GUI. We're going to then hit the plus sign here and create a text button. So here's our text button. Let's just drag this alongside here. So let's change the text scale to true, and we'll name this text give currency. And now let's create a local script inside of the screen GUI. So we'll make a local script. Let's first make reference to the screen GUI, which is going to be local GUI equals script.parent. And then we'll first make reference to the text button. But let's actually rename this text button to give currency. So local give button equals GUI dot give currency. And finally, we'll make reference to our give currency remote event, which is located inside of replicated storage. So down here, we're going to say local give currency equals game dot replicated storage. It's inside of our replicated storage folder dot give currency. So now that we have our references, let's create the mouse button one click event when we press the button. So we'll say give button dot mouse button one click colon connect function, and then drop a line down here. We want to fire the event so that when we go back to the server, we can catch that event when it's being activated. And the way we activate this event is by saying give currency, which is our remote event, colon fire server. So when we press the button, we're going to fire this remote event to the server, and we're going to have the server take this function call, which I will show you in a little bit. There are multiple arguments we can put in here, but just for right now, we're going to leave this empty. So now let's catch this inside of the server. We're going to copy this reference right here. So we're going to highlight this and copy, and we're going to go to our leader stats script. So down here, let's drop 2 lines, and let's just Control V to paste our copy code. And now what we'll do is we will catch this fired event. We'll say give currency, and it's going to be dot on server event colon connect function. And here's what's really important about this. So whenever we call fire server, we don't pass anything here, but indirectly, it's automatically going to pass in the player object that called this event. So it's going to be our player in the game that called this event when we pressed the button. So we're going to pass in the player argument, and this is required. You have to have the first argument be the player. And anything after that is basically just going to be whatever arguments we put inside of our function call. But for right now, it's just going to be player. So now that we understand that, let's locate our coins int value inside of our leader stats. So we're going to say local leader stats equals player dot leader stats. And then we will make reference to the coins. We will say local coins equals leader stats dot coins. Now let's add coins to the int value. So we'll say coins dot value plus equals, let's just say 50. All right, so essentially what we've done is that we created a text button that says give currency. When we press it, it's going to send a message to the server, and it's going to catch it onto the server that we want to give the player that called this remote event to give them 50 coins. And I will explain to you why this is important, but let's test this out first. So we're going to go to the game, hit test and hit play, and see the new button that we just created. All right, so I've spawned into the game. Our coins by default is 50, but if I press give currency, then it should effectively give 100 coins to the player. So if we keep pressing it, then we should constantly be getting 50 coins every time we press the button. So that should be working as expected. But now you might ask, why do we need this server and client communication when we're, let's say, giving currency to a player? So in order for me to explain that, let me go back into the game. And like I mentioned with the server and client model, you can go between the server and client window by going to test and then hitting this button here by telling you whether you're on the server side or if you're on the client side. Right now I'm on the server side, but if I press it again, I'm back to the client side. So let's see what our coins value actually looks like when we're on both sides of the game. So we're going to go to players, brawl battle, leader stats, coins. So as you can see, my coins in value is 50, like expected. Let's see what happens if I change the value in the client. So if I just change this value to 200, then it'll show that my coins have been updated to 200 and my coins in value has also been updated to 200. But what's the problem here? It looks like it's working as expected. If we go into the server side, so if I click our server window and we do the same thing where we go to players, we go to Brawl Battle, the leader stats and coins, we can see that our value is still 50 despite us changing the value inside of our local client. This is why I must reiterate that communication between the server and client is very important, because what you see inside of the client is not going to be replicated to the server for all the other players. It's not going to be the same thing. So if I had a shop system, this actually is not 200 coins, but in reality, the game says that my player has 50 coins instead of 200. That's why when we're updating, or in this case, giving currency, we need to tell the server to give us 50 coins, not the client. That's why we have to do this whole server and client model with creating a remote event, firing the server, and then making the server catch this event to then update our coins value. Because we could have just simply done this inside of but this wouldn't have actually given the player the coins that we want to give the player. This would have made us think in the client that we gave ourselves coins, but in reality, the game says we did not do anything. Because this is very easily exploitable for any hacker or exploiter inside of a Roblox game to give themselves a huge, ridiculous amount of coins inside of the game so that they can buy everything inside of the game. That's why we rely on the server to do all this for us, not the client. So I hope this gives you a better explanation and a better understanding of why we do these things. All right, so I mentioned extra arguments or parameters being a thing for our remote events, and that's what I'm gonna show you really quickly here. So when we have a remote event, it doesn't matter how many arguments we throw into here because we can have as many as we want. This is usually to pass in information to the server using this remote event if we wanted to do anything specific. It gives us more power to be able to say exactly what we want to do with arguments that we pass in to this event call. So in this case, we have give currency, which gives us a fixed amount of coins every single time we press the button. But what if we wanted to specify it on the client? We would do that by creating parameters and passing in arguments to our function calls. So we're going to create another parameter here after player by putting in a comma, and this is going to be the coins amount. And we're going to take this coins amount and we're going to replace it with our fixed 50 currency that's over here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our local script, and inside of this Fire server, remember that player is implicitly passed into our function calls. So we actually don't need to pass in player, but rather we're going to pass in our coins amount. So in this case, it's going to be 50. So what's going to happen here is that when we call Fire server, we're going to pass in our coins amount. And over here, it's going to implicitly pass in the player argument and then our coins amount. So it's very important to understand that we're not passing in player first. This is actually our second argument, which is our coins amount. But over here, we're going to pass in player first thing, and then all the arguments afterwards that we provided inside of these parameters. So if we go back and test it, it should essentially do the exact same thing. So if we press it, then it should do what we needed to do. So that works out wonders.
This is valid. Aren't you tired of playing FPSs where teamwork is non-existent?
And like I mentioned, you can have as many arguments as you want. As long as you have this player parameter, you can have as many arguments as you want. You can pass in as much information and the script will not complain about it. So what we just did was we communicated from the client to the server. But now what if we wanted to do it the other way around? What if we wanted to communicate from the server to the client? Like for instance, if if the player has joined the game, then we will tell the server to send a message to the client to give them like a special greeting through text or something. So that's what we're going to do with this example. This can also be done by using a remote event. So for this example, we're going to create another remote event. So like I said, it's going to be inside of replicated storage because that's the folder I recommend putting all your remote events in. So we'll hit the plus sign and we're going to create another remote event and we're going to rename this greet player. And let's go back to our leader stats script. So in our leader stats,
I'm still kind of confused with the function.
Hey everybody, today I need to explain function.
welcome back to my Roblox beginner scripting tutorial guide. We're going to disable our property scripts that we created in the last episode. So I'm going to select it and then click on disable. And what I'm going to do is hit the plus sign next to workspace and our functions. Let me present with you a scenario. So let's say I wanted to take the game's base plate and repeatedly change one of its properties. So like let's say the transparency, for example. What I'm going to do is go to our script and we're first going to make reference to this base plate like we did in the last episode. So what I'm going to do is say local, and then we're going to put in a variable name, and this can be whatever you want, but I'm just going to say my base plate equals game.workspace.baseplate like this, and I'm going to change the transparency property of the base plate. So I'm going to say my baseplate dot transparency equals 2 more times. Then what I'm going to do by right-clicking and then hitting copy. Now, as a shortcut, what we can do is type in control, like hold down control, and then C for cat, holding down. So then we can replace this by hitting 6 lines of code where we change the transparency. And if I would it basically contains multiple lines of code that executes just by calling it in one line. It may not make sense to you unless I show it to you. So what I'm going to do is our function. Now, hit space, we know. So we now.
Menurut saya, pialang forex harus tanpa biaya tersembunyi.
We will put on the left side of this change. Typically, but now we act and we simply just need to say change transparency is change this further, because by default the base plate's transparent. Control C and then either transparent after going through all of these different lines of code. So now we can basically repeatedly call the same, and it'll basically act the same A as I'm gonna correct C, sitting down here, print ABC, open. But we called ABC one time, which is going to go through ABC flat. And how this
like it's a simple one. I don't understand the portrait.
This video is intended for those who do not know what functional programming is, with an assumption. In order to be aware of the fact that you didn't know what functional programming is, I suppose you must be familiar with some other programming paradigm. That is, you should be familiar with some language similar to one of these. Great. Now, one thing that you'll have probably realized by now is that, despite having a few things in common, languages also have lots of differences. I'm not talking about differences in syntax. Syntax doesn't matter. I'm talking about semantics, the meaning and behavior of your programs. Let's take C. You may know that C doesn't have classes or objects, unlike C++, Java, and Python. We say that C is an imperative language, since its instructions are shaped like commands, and that it is procedural, since it is based on procedure calls. usually improperly referred to as function calls. I'm sure some of you will disagree about the improperly, but I'm also sure that you all know that procedure means different things in different contexts. Sometimes it's used to denote a piece of code that does not return a value, as opposed to a function, which does. In this video, by procedure, I mean any sequence of instructions, which may well contain a return, while a function, in the functional programming sense, is a much more abstract idea, which we will explore later in the video. Java and its classy friends, on the other hand, are called object-oriented languages, but the instructions inside their methods are still commands, so these languages are still based on the same imperative paradigm. One of the things that make functional languages most different from the ones you're probably used to is the fact that the instructions are not commands, but expressions, and a program is not a concatenation of declarations and commands, but a composition of functions. We call this property 1. There's also another big difference, the biggest one probably, and I'll introduce it later in the video.
I got understanding this function
When
is
we
kind of
refer to
hard to
functions, we mean it in the
in
mathematical
coding.
sense of maps between sets, such that the output depends solely on the input. A procedure can be a function. For example, this Python procedure is a function that takes an integer and returns an integer. In mathematical notation, we would write this function as f from integers to integers, such that x maps to x squared. This symbol here means maps to, and writing f such that x maps to x squared is equivalent to writing f such that f of x equals x squared. I prefer to use the maps to notation here, since it allows for a better transition later in the video. Let's look at another example that should bring this a little bit closer to the functional paradigm. If we wanted to define a Python function that returns the sum of the squares of two numbers, we could either write the following procedure, or if we wanted to separate the operations, write something like this. Now remember what we said about the functional paradigm, property 1. Rather than using a concatenation of declarations and commands, we want to use function composition, so we can rewrite the function like this. This is closer to satisfying the first property. There is still a problem though. That return thing over there is a command, and one command is enough to make this computation a concatenation of commands, thus violating property 1. We can solve this by introducing the second property of functional programming languages, the presence of anonymous functions. An anonymous function is a function without a name. We will represent anonymous functions, at least for now, by means of the maps to notation. Instead of writing our function like this, we'll stop using Python for a while and represent our function in a weird mathematical pseudo-language, like this. Notice that we use the same equal symbol that we might have used to assign the value 3 to an integer variable x. This is a hint to the most important property of all. Anonymous functions can be assigned to variables, the very same way that a number can be assigned to a variable. Numbers can be the inputs and outputs of functions, so I guess the next obvious step would be using anonymous functions as the input of other functions, like so, and also as the result of other functions. In this case, the function foo is a function that returns a function. So this returns the function that multiplies the input by 2. Hence the following computes the value 2 times 5. Should we go? There's property 3, I guess. And JavaScript is by using this it will still have a function like right now. Actually, position is get rid of dot to the base case of the recursive function. To finally get rid of function, what I'm ready for to code the beautifully platonic mode or a friend a different notation that features the grid.
My fucking heart. Yeah, it's kind of burnout. Chat. Maybe it's time to eat football for a moment, please. Okay. And let's play eFootball one game before we start again. Shit. I think I'm gonna play some games first. Okay.
Next.
My hat, it's so fucking hurt, bruh. I don't know why. Why am I looking at myself? Okay, wait a minute, okay, people. You just need more repetition and you will understood what the functions mean. Okay. Just wait, like, I will.
Sakit kepala. Minum panadol ekstra. Sat-sat dan efektif. Redakan sakit kepala.
To give announcements remote event to every single client, and it's blank. Fire all clients. And you might have noticed that we don't need a player argument here because we know that for this, we're going to pass it to every single player that because we're going to just say, let's first we have all text label visible to at least our because what we'll do is we'll press the start button, and what will happen is that Roblox will give us 3 windows. One is the server, and the other 2 are each of the players. It is server. You can see that we have player 2 over here, and we have player 1 over here. So this is how we're able to playtest a game with multiple players by creating our own server to be able to do that. And as you saw, I don't know if you actually did see it, but around the 20-second mark, the global announcement was sent to all the players, so both of our players at the exact same time. I don't know if you did catch that. You can rewind it for about 10 seconds, but it is what happened. The server, after about 20 seconds, has sent the global announcement message to every single player that was inside of the game to tell them to make this text label visible. And we were able to success function to them, which I don't think should be a problem. Now you might ask, can't we just get a table full of all the players and just manually use Fire Client for every single player? Yes, you can do it that way, but why would you want to put up with the struggles of having to do all that when you could just do it all in one line? I think Roblox has realized that this is a very common use case, which is why they made this into a separate event rather than having you constantly
Okay.
a table full of all
And what even is to connect is using our cinematic on back. How can I make another? Multiplayer interact with the NPC that show up UI 1 and then UI 2, then done. The things that going on in here, the things when it's this is using a remote event. Or maybe all of this. Just wonder. Or it could be entering again to here. The list of the space accept. Yeah, people. Let's start this. So I need a local script in here that showing up the remote events that we're gonna make in here. I wanna ask something. So you gotta local the UI first, and then if you click it, it appears, right? Okay, this function. Master click connect the click player NPC. Mouse click event. Mouse click detector NPC head click detector. Yeah, we got that. Body humanoid. Okay. Yeah. Call it use your logic first and then ask GPT if you are stuck. Whoa, look at that. I can name it. Okay. I still cannot click the NPC though. So we need a click detector in here. or a mouse click even. Let me just create a local script in here.
Banyak hal yang bisa meninggalkannya dari rumah kita.
Button.
Waktunya
I'm so tired, bro.
I'll link is in the description for that. In the last episode, we covered remote events, and then there was the server to all of the clients. But what if we wanted to do a communication that sends information to one party, and then with that, it will send results back to the caller? What I mean is, what if we had this player communicate to the server, and then with that communication to the server then communicates back to the player with results to give us more information or to let us know that the call was successful. This is essentially what remote functions do that remote events can't do. The very important thing to know here is that what we're going to be talking about in this episode will act as two-way communication rather than one-way communication. So hopefully you were able to understand this.
Yes.
Then flip the coin here. Let's drag it a little bit. Next, what we'll do is we're going to add a text button to the screen. Right? And let the player build a local script inside of our screen GUI. So let's just create a local script here for acts and store. This and emote so that we can store it. But is we will make this button active when we press it so that we can send the message to the server using by button dot mouse button one click connect function open parentheses close parentheses enter compared to remote side of the fire server. But fire server is surprisingly not a function you can use for remote functions because fire server is very specifically a function for remote events. So in this case, what we're going to say instead of fire server is we're actually going to replace fire with invoke. So this is the function we need to use in order to make a call to the server. And in terms of parameters, it's basically the same thing with invoke server, and in this case, the other one is invoke client, where we don't need to pass in a player if we're calling from the client to the server due to this server not being by button remote dot on server invoke. Now you might be tempted to say connect function open parentheses close parentheses and enter. This is actually incorrect. This is not the right way to write the syntax for on-server invoke, even though this pretty much is what it is like for on-server event. So you might ask, why is it not like on-server event? Why is the syntax incorrect here? It's important to understand the difference between a callback and an event. I will explain what the difference is once we finish writing our code. As of right now, what you need to know is that this is not the right way to write the on-server invoke syntax, because this is not an event, this is a callback. And the way you structure a callback is that it's basically a function that is structured like this. So after on-server invoke, we say equals function, because we create a new function when we call this on-server invoke with the open parentheses, close parentheses. And the parameters are basically the same way as a on-server event call. So you know how over here we have an on-server event call for remote events? where the first parameter implicitly gives you the player, and then you have whatever other arguments you have over here. It basically works the same way here, where we are given the player when we call on server invoke, and then let's hit enter. Now you might notice is that this end has no end parenthesis, while on server event does have an end parenthesis. So this is something you have to keep aware of, is that there are tiny syntax differences when it comes to using remote events and remote functions. And when you're calling on server invoke, you have to set this equal to a new function that implicitly passes in the player, much like on server event, and then it returns, and then it stops this block of code using an end statement without the end parenthesis. So that's something important to know about here. So now what we'll do is we will make reference to the player's coins and check if the player has enough coins to be able to buy this button, and then we'll subtract 50 currency from the player's local leader stats equals playing leader stats dot value, subtract the communication value by 50. We've now provided one-way communication from the client, and if they pretty much this makes it and the two the clumping special false. And then let's drop a line down here. Successful. The player make computations to be able to get rid of 50 coins from the coin's value. We're also passing equal to this function called b, essentially a boolean that is set to whatever this function call returns.
Okay, you know what? I gotta take a rest for a moment. So yeah, chat. I'll see you guys in the part 2, I guess. Because I need to take a rest for a minute. Should I? Yes, of course, because I want the. Yeah, see you guys later, okay? Bye. Ciao.